What's up, everybody? We're Sound the Culture, Xavier.
Jaiden.
Today, we will be reviewing the all-new Hurry Up Tomorrow. This is highly anticipated, so we decided to clear the schedule of Vultures 2 and do this one.
Don't worry, guys. Vultures 2 will be next episode. I made sure.
I'm sure everybody's dying for that.
I am.
Okay, so a little bit of background. Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd, was born on February 16th, which is coming up, 1990, in Ontario, Canada.
He's young.
Yeah,
It's like, what, like not 30?
35.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And he's already trying to retire.
Yep.
Damn. Good for him.
Um. His parents. Sorry if I mispronounce this. Makonnen Tesfaye and Samarit Helu are Ethiopian immigrants who divorced when he was born, which ended up having him living with his mother and his grandmother growing up. At the age of 17, he dropped out of school and lived a hedonistic lifestyle with his best friend, which is basically where they would do anything to feel pleasure and avoid pain at all costs.
Hmm.
Since he left home on a weekend, he decided that would be his stage name, leaving out the E to avoid any issues with the Canadian band who already had the name Weekend. During this time, he founded his label, or his unofficial label, EXO, in order to make 3 mixtapes: House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence, which all received much praise and eventually became the trilogy. Uh, During the release of his first mixtape, he was releasing his music anonymously, which, fun fact, made many people believe that he was a band when he was first releasing music. The Weeknd has received many awards, including 4 Grammys, 1 Latin Grammy Award, 20 Billboard Music Awards, 6 American Music Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, and 22 Juno Awards. Along with this, he's also the only person to have 25 songs that all have over 1 billion streams on Spotify. The album we're reviewing, Hurry Up Tomorrow, is The Weeknd's 6th and last studio album. The album is mostly pop and R&B. It goes into about existential and self-referential themes while also exploring death, redemption, and rebirth.
Did he explain why this is his last studio album?
Technically, he did in the album. He's mostly saying that he's tired of being The Weeknd.
Yeah, I heard something about that. He wants to give up the stage name and just go back to Abel.
I'm not entirely sure. It would kind of suck if he did that, but I'd still hear more weak music by him, so I'd still be happy.
I mean, he's still making money off of this, so he's
Yeah.
going to benefit anyways.
Anyways, my background, I love The Weeknd. I have 3 of the huge posters for him, and I listened to this the day it came out, and I really like it.
I like The Weeknd, but I made sure not to listen so I could be more authentic about this.
Yeah. All right, so we'll come back to you guys with the review.
Yes.
All right, we are back from our listening.
Holy God.
I know, dude. It's an insane album.
Last album, send it off with a bang. Go big or go home.
Yep. Let me get to the front of my notes. Okay. So starting off with "Wake Me Up" featuring Justice. These first few songs, man, what a bang to start with.
For me, I'm not a big fan of like intros because they're not really. There's not that much thought put into it. They are short. The Weeknd really put time into this. He got Justice, and Justice did deliver. I liked it a lot. We gave him a feel of the theme, but the opening, in my opinion, well, not my opinion, but like it's true, is a bit misleading, but it like transforms, like the album transforms throughout.
Yeah.
He has a lot of contradicting statements. Um, he like you could see like his development as a person in some of the songs,
Hmm.
which I'll get to later.
Yeah, um, a lot of these songs, especially the first ones, they were very intense and like very. I don't know how to describe it, but they're just really intense and get you like right into the action of it. And
I,
then the switch halfway through the song, I really like that.
yeah, I feel like the beginning was just more like let us in on the energy he's been feeling. I guess like he's been feeling like a bit psychotic. I guess in a way, not he's psychotic, but like his situation overall with how music has gone for him.
It could be like in his first album he did this where the first part of the song was um his like euphoria on drugs, and then the second part was him was the after effects, like the withdrawal and
Yeah,
everything. It could be like the opposite way for this, where he starts out um
sober.
yeah, he starts out sober, he starts out thinking these psychotic thoughts, and then he starts taking some drugs, and then he gets into a state of euphoria.
That makes sense because the as you progress through the like the album, the the beats they loosen up a bit. Like the first couple songs, you're a bit more tense. So, do you just want to move on to "Cry for Me"?
Yeah.
"Cry for Me" had a crazy feel.
Yeah.
Had that Brazilian funk. The drums like the cha cha cha
Yeah.
cha cha cha, and it carries over to like what like
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo. It carries over, and then does it go into until we're skin and bones?
Yeah, because I think Until We're Skin and Bones is like the end of the hype train.
Yeah. Um, I think you said something about how in his first album it was euphoric, and at least in the first song it was euphoric, and
No, no,
then
no. That was just one song he did that with.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was euphoric, and then it was how he felt. It's like I guess the crash or the withdrawal,
Yeah.
and then for the album as a whole, the beginning is very disoriented. I guess he's not in a stable area, and then it eases up, it
Yeah.
loosens up.
I said this one was melodic, really melodic. The beat's crazy. I love the little distortion part in the middle that
Yeah,
they have. They kept these first ones. They found a way for it to be longer, but still interesting the entire time, and not just a
yeah,
bunch of beats thrown at you.
yeah. It's not like the beat was just playing for like 2 or 3 minutes. Like he, like the dead space was filled, and he did a great job.
Mm.
Moving on to the I don't know the bridge or like the transition. I can't sing. Uh,
Oh yeah, this one has a little bit of background I should explain.
yeah.
So, from his tour on the last album, on like one of the last concerts, he broke his voice in the middle of it,
Oh,
and he ended up being booed off stage when it happened.
damn.
So that a lot of people are speculating that the recording of that was from that night of
Yeah,
him. And like you saw clips of it, and he was like so sad that he had to cancel his show. And he was
yeah.
just so upset, and you could tell he was a little bit mad at himself.
What do you mean his voice broke? Like his
His
like?
voice just legit broke. He couldn't sing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Um, I can't sing led into a crazy transition to Sao Paulo, which, in my opinion, was my favorite. That I think that was my favorite on the album. Uh,
I feel like Sao Paulo as a single, a lot of people misjudged it and thought it was weird, but in the context of the album, it's really good, and I really like it.
I think the first three songs, Wake Me Up, I'm counting Wake Me Up as a song just because it's an actual proper intro, not just a 1 minute skit. Cry for Me and Sao Paulo are things we didn't know we could see from the weekend, but we're glad we could see it now.
Yeah,
We saw a little bit during Utopia when he did this with K-pop, but it was more because he was with Travis and Bad Bunny. This is more coming from him himself, not through Travis and his producing team and Bad Bunny's influence.
Sao Paulo, that is a very intense song,
Very,
but
yes.
it hypes you up. It's and the little bridge part they had where like I kind of forget how it goes, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe like everything that we listened to like kind of floated through my head, so whatever I got for notes is what I'm gonna be working
Yeah.
off of with. um the weekend did come swinging with this.
Mhm.
Like this is like final blow Rocky Balboa swing as much as he could put into it.
Yeah. And then this transitions into Until We're Skin and Bones. I think there's probably some sort of symbolism in that song. I don't really know. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of beats for me.
um so the whole thing was instrumental, so if you don't want to listen to instrumental, don't, but if you're listening to the whole album, don't skip.
Yeah.
This is a like this the whole album, right? I don't say this a lot, but the whole thing, don't skip. There are no skips. There
Yeah.
like every single song. It's not because every single song is good. It's because every single song is essential to the album itself. Because it there's he develops himself through it, and you miss a whole page. Not forget a page, a whole chapter, from if you just skip one of the songs.
One thing I forgot to mention for Sao Paulo is that he changed the song from the single so that he could do these transitions and have it flow and weave into each other.
Yeah,
Like in the beginning where there was that crowd part that was not in the single, and like at the end where it gets all hype up and goes into Until We're Skin the Bones, that's not in the single either.
I think if I had to put this on my playlist, I'm putting the album version opposed to the single, because I don't like. I think every second of Sao Paulo I like.
Yeah.
There was not a single second where I'm like, oh, I wish this could be cut. Like I think singles and single version of songs and album version should be different. He did do that, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad. But in this case, I'm also upset because you're kind of removing some of the like things that make the song so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Baptized in
Yeah.
Tears.
This is a really cool song.
That one, in my opinion, was a bit rough.
Really? You didn't
No, it
like it?
was. I liked it.
Uh,
What he was saying, I felt was rough.
okay.
So, he was talking about being in a bathtub, just like with because he couldn't move.
Yeah.
So the song was great. The met like what he was saying though, it was just like, damn, I didn't know this was happening. I didn't like maybe like I don't listen to the weekend that much, but like I don't think he's ever mentioned it to this extent.
No, he has.
He
He
has.
does. He did. He usually does actually.
Oh, okay. So this is, I guess, a new thing for me.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't have it as high. I put it. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10. I None of the songs on this album really got below 7. It's all my bad 6. It's all 6 and above.
I think all of the choruses they carry so much
Yeah,
for these songs.
yeah. The choruses, they're
Yeah.
great. Some of the verses, they're a bit better than the chorus, but the chorus does do a lot to drive the song.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Open Hearts.
This one, I think Open Hearts is my favorite.
So yeah, so it's back to the beginning vibe, but it picks up the same
Yeah.
concepts he's talking about. Like the beat is there, but he's still gonna be he's progressing the story. So
Yeah.
don't let the beat fool you.
And this one, it's more because in After Hours, that was about him meeting a girl. There was something about a girl, and it was like he, and then something about a girl, and then in Don FM, it was like he couldn't get the girl. He was too late, and then this one, it's like how does he? It's hurts to open back up again and start to love again,
Yeah.
and he's contemplating how do I show myself? How do I open my heart to someone else?
Yeah, didn't it start with like I don't know if that's another song. Hold up. Cause it was like it started with like I like to be alone and then yeah, okay, no, that's Take Me Back to LA.
Also, speaking of his past albums, there are a lot of the titles in this album are opposites to Dawn FM and After Hours, like Open Hearts. There's Heartless and
Ooh.
After Hours. There, what else is there? Wake Me Up Now. Oh, Cry for Me, Save Your Tears, and After Hour.
It's very interesting.
Uh,
If you can't tell already, the Weeknd put a lot of thought into the little things.
Timeless. There's Out of Time on Dawn FM. Take Me Back to LA. There's literally Take Me Out of LA in After Hours.
Escape from LA.
Escape from LA.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it.
So yeah, the album did take a little bit for it to come out, but it's worth the wait, 100%. I didn't listen to it the first time when it came out. I listened to it for the first time here. All right, and I'm still learning about the little tidbits that Abel put in the album. So that for a last album, this was really, really thought about.
Mm-hmm. For this song, I said it gave me like a final countdown kind of hype to it, with especially like that little beat in the chorus.
Opening Hearts.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Open Hearts.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I didn't really comment that much. I liked it, but like,
There was the day it came out, he did a live show with Jimmy Kimmel. You should watch it. I think it really helps.
yeah.
That's where I first like fell in love with it.
Opening Hearts.
Open, yeah,
Yeah, Open Hearts. Yeah, I like the song. I just don't know what else I was thinking about when the song was playing.
yeah. So next would be
Opening Night.
This is a
Skit ish.
no. The next one was a skit. This was the interlude.
What, Opening Night?
Yeah,
Oh.
You're talking about the girl calling him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next song.
Yeah, so
With
it's
Travis.
Yeah, so it's a nice bridge between reflections.
It kind of opens up to what you're about to talk about in Reflections, because with the girl calling, and I think I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the song when there's like that initial phone, but you can hear like a 911, someone say 911 in the background. So I think it's being something like something happened to Abel, something
I
happened.
think he overdosed. It could have been he overdosed.
Yeah.
Now, Reflections laughing. The features.
This is featuring Travis Scott and did I miss any other people? Travis Scott and Florence the Machine. Oh, Sao Paulo featured Anita. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next features later.
So, yeah, Florence and the Machine, they're new. Well, no, not new.
Yeah, no.
They're unfortunately I haven't heard of them. Maybe
they're new to you.
Yeah, they're new to me.
They're like an older band, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha. Travis Scott, the vocals,
Yeah,
they're new.
they're completely different
They're
from what
new.
he's been doing.
I say with all I can, go into this album with an open mind. That's all you. That's all you.
That's part of the reason I wanted to do it before the feature list came out.
Yeah,
Because when you first hear this, you're like, is that Travis? And you have this moment of like, that is him. But no,
yeah,
it's not him. And the same thing with future later.
yeah. So I'm saying you have to go in with an open mind. The only people that can convince artists to really step out of their comfort zone is right now, from what I'm seeing, is Abel getting Travis Scott to try new vocals and sing, and then maybe Kanye West for like one song. All right, that's like the most I've seen. Um, this like a lot. This is like for a last album. There have been multiple like, hey, this is my last album, never coming back to music again. Um, this one is probably blowing everything out of the water because of how much thought. Like it's a thought provoking album, but the amount of thought that was put into it to make it that way is exponentially higher than what you're leaving with. The product you're leaving with is so much insignificantly less than what was put into it.
I think it started here, but like the background samples are the background vocals. I'm not sure if they're samples or vocals or not, but they're so good. They add so much to the album and all of the tracks. Like, was there one? Yeah, Enjoy the Show, Give Up on Me on the second half, Niagara Falls. They all had like these high pitched background vocals or samples. I'm not entirely sure, but they added so much and they're really good.
Uh, let's see. He talks about his addiction. So I'm not like I've listened to the Weekend, but I haven't listened to it fully in depth to understand that he has addictions. Um, he talks about them a lot, and it's more like the whole like theme of this album is more.
Do you remember Beauty Behind the Madness, the song Can't Feel My Face? I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Yeah.
That song's about, it's not a person, he's talking about drugs.
Mm, that's that's really
It
interesting.
was in front of our face as a child.
It was in front of his face too. He just had to sniff. Um, yeah. So for me, I'm not really. I didn't know about his addictions like that. So the whole like overarching theme is like he's ashamed of the addictions. He's talking about how he tried to get over them. He fell back. He's back off of them, and he's trying to move on. This is like telling his audience how he's gonna move past and then move on to the next chapter of his life. Because essentially, this album's closing the Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Weekend, the stage name. I think after this album is officially dead now. Like this album is what carries the Weekend now. It's just Abel and his last name that I still cannot pronounce.
Okay, so next, Enjoy the Show featuring Future.
Yes. Um, future saying
Mm-hmm. He doesn't usually do that.
he doesn't, and I feel like he was trying so hard to get what he usually does in because there'll be like verses where he's just stacking bars on bars on bars, but he sang. So, like I said, going with an open mind. This is a very
I do think
new
that
thing.
at first listen, his singing is kind of trash,
Yeah.
but once you get used to it, you start to vibe with it a lot more.
So it's like the whole album. It's like I haven't listened to a Weekend album through like that. Like I don't think I've listened to After Hours, Starboy, or Dawn FN full. Not even the trilogy. I've just had songs.
Trilogy is the huge one. It's
Yeah,
like 3 albums combined. No way you're
it,
listening to all that.
I might fall asleep. But listening to this, it was more. I'm saying, going with an open mind. This is not something I've seen from anyone because I've never heard Future sing. Future never sings unless like he's. I can't think of a proper example. Future would sing and it'd be not funny because Enjoy the Show talks about his drinking and drug addictions, I guess. Uh, and I feel like he was suicidal in this one.
Yes. We're gonna speed run a little bit. We gotta go. So next song, "Give Up on Me." This had the no credit feature, but it still had Future on it.
Yeah. Metro did cook up on this beat.
Oh, Metro was on this.
Yeah, yeah. He produced a little bit of it. So he is suicidal, and his addiction
I
did
got that on this one.
contribute to that. Um, I can't wait to get there. Talks about his problems that he tried to suppress with his addiction. Not much musical substance, I felt. It's if you look into the lyrics, you'll like it a lot, but the musical part, this song's not that much.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Is Timeless there? No, we got. I can't wait to get there.
Oh.
Um.
Oh no. Okay, so I blew past. Okay, I can't wait to get there. Doesn't have that much musical substance.
I did think there's a little bit of a Drake diss on there because he was. I think the line was like, "They're trying to paint me as a villain," and during that whole saga,
Yeah.
it was like, Drake's whole thing with him is that he didn't sign to OVO, so
Yeah.
it was like, "How dare you? I put so much into you. I made you famous. How dare you not sign with
Exactly.
me?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, Weeknd don't want to do that. You
Yeah,
don't want to
exactly.
become Party Next Door.
Yeah. That was Party Next Door. that cover is insane. Okay.
So Timeless now featuring Playboy Cardi.
I sort of see how it fits in, but it feels out of place. It's a great song, but personally, if it just stuck as a single, I wouldn't mind.
I did hear online that when the singles first came out, they were completely different to each other. So everybody was like, "How is this gonna mesh?" And then there was one guy who was like, "Well, he did Timeless with Playboy Cardi, and the music video, it's all very hip hop ish. So he was probably doing this to become like to just be more of a hip hop artist and be more known, just to have that experience, before he sends off."
Yeah. I feel like so on Genius it said Timeless sort of reflects about their fame, and you could say like you could see like the bars like EXO tatted like
all over her body.
So EXO is Abel's label essentially. So it's more like
because he doesn't really sign it. It was more like just label,
yeah,
so that
his
he could put out
label.
music.
So it's like his brand essentially. So like
Yeah,
tatting someone's brand onto your body is insane.
dude, I might just do that.
But like that kind of gives us a perspective on how famous he is. So uh the fame I guess fits in, but you really have to look into the lyrics to understand why the song fits in. It fits into the album, but it doesn't at the same time. It's like a weird sandwich.
Okay, Niagara Falls.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like Niagara Falls. It had that. It had a very heavy kick drum to it. It had good vocals in the background.
He talks about how he did like someone. Take Me Back to LA. Holy God, the transition.
Yeah, this is, I think, the point where he becomes more an adult and realizes it's a mistake, especially from Escape from LA. That song is completely different. He's like, all I want to do is leave. I hate this place. Get me out of here. And now he's like, looking back, he's like, why can't I go back to that age and appreciate what I had and appreciate the youth I had?
Yeah, because this is where he really contradicts what he says. Originally, it's he wants to be alone. Now it's better when there's someone there with me. So
Mhm.
Uh, Big Sleep.
This is
It's
featuring someone. It is Giorgio Moroder.
yeah.
Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Big Sleep. It's short, but
That
musically is substance.
that intro, it was weird, but this might be a stretch, but I feel like it's kind of symbolizing either when like he was deteriorating, it was symbolizing his death, or it was symbolizing him like passing out from OD or going, or his OD is done, his buzz is done, so
Yeah.
now he's in his real life, and he's going through withdrawal. He's realizing the mistakes he's done because he's done with the drugs and all of that.
So Big Sleep. Oh no, what are we on? Big
No,
Sleep.
yeah, Ron makes sleep.
Yeah. So short, but there's not much substance, but it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Give Me Mercy. He talks to God. You literally find out in the first two like bars. It's like talk to this guy that was a lie or something like that. Um, Drive. He dislikes and hates the fame, which
Yeah.
yet again, that's how you kind of understand how timeless kind of fits in because Drive
Yeah.
helps
Drive is
anchor.
just like he wants to get away from it all. He just wants to be peace.
He just wants to be able
Yeah.
before the fame and all the other stuff.
I said Drive was the kind of song where you like feel like you're floating while you're listening to it.
Yeah. Uh, The Abyss.
These next two songs, Abyss and Red Terror, they're very intense. Oh,
Yeah.
Abyss is featuring Lana Del Rey.
Lana, I'm upset she didn't have that much. She maybe had like the bottom, like she could have been used a bit better. So
Yeah.
that's my only thing.
But her outro was insane.
No, the
I
outro
really
was
loved
great.
that
The outro was
outro.
great. I just
Yeah.
wish they he used her
Yeah.
more in like the chorus and
I
stuff.
For people who sing like this, whenever you feature, I always feel like you can't just let them do a verse. You have to put them in background vocals. You have to do more than just because they're singers. They're not rappers where their
Exactly.
main thing is putting bars.
Yeah.
Their job is to add that level of oomph to the track.
Yeah.
So you can't just let someone sing for a verse then leave.
Exactly. Let's see. Red Terror.
Red Terror has a little bit of context. What I want to know what you thought of it before I give the context.
So originally I thought he has a kid. Then I saw he wants a kid. So he's essentially saying, I'm willing to change to be a dad, which is where he's like, I stopped drugs. I stopped like a lot. He stopped a lot so he could be in the position to have a family.
Okay, so that's what a lot of people thought, but what it was actually was happening was there was an Ethiopia tragedy, and this song was about that. I'm not sure the exact thing. Yeah, there was a war, and there was widespread sexual violence, famine, lack of medical access, and about 800,000 to 600,000, no, 80,000 to 600,000 deaths in
Damn.
Ethiopia where his parents were from. So of course that probably meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
There were probably some relatives of his that might have died.
Yeah.
So that song is mostly no, my microphone's right there.
Yeah.
Okay. That song was about that tragedy that happened.
That makes sense, Red Terror.
Yeah.
And then, oh, your mom's calling. Okay, we gotta finish this. Without a Warning talks about his aging body, like aging and how like it's hard to continue.
Yeah.
He can't. He's getting old. He's not like J Lo. Like they're still like people like J Lo, like all those people. They're still struggling.
Yeah.
And then Hurry Up Tomorrow. It's regret how he filled
Yeah.
his void of his father with addiction, and like now he kind of dug a bigger hole.
But now I think he's looking more forward, and he's gonna be like,
Yeah,
"I'm gonna change for the good. I'm gonna stop being the Weeknd,
and
this
start being
badass
able.
image, yeah, and start being who I am. Start being a good person, and change for the better."
Yeah, he still will be rich,
All
not going to be poor.
right, so this album in general, very, very good.
10 out of 10. Would
Yeah,
listen
I'm gonna
again.
say 10 out of 10. Overall, 10 out of 10. Thank you guys for listening. Follow our TikTok at sound of culture. Have a good day.
Vultures 2 is next.